there appears to be a little bit of a delay with the start. And we are off. This is good. Rampage comes out to a really strong opening there. Looks like they're back on the defensive already, but when you're playing a game with, not with specific criteria.
All right, are we good? Sorry about that, everybody. I forgot to turn my mic on. Anyway, we're going to jump right into watching Team Blaze versus versus Rampage. They've come off to a pretty good start here. See, this is a much different game than what we like to call wall ball. In Dodgeball, you've got essentially two real ways to play it. You've got one where you have a wall where things are going to bounce back, and then you also have the version that we have here in WDBF tournaments where you generally don't get the balls back after you throw them. It changes the game quite a bit. So you'll notice here that teams aren't too worried about getting ball control, which is a term for basically having burden. Now, when you get a ball knocked out of your hand, like you saw right there with number 113, you're knocked out. So whether you block the ball or not, it doesn't matter if a live ball knocks it out of your hand. Oh, so that was a nice little shot and a counter on Beaumont there. So you'll notice Rampage is taking a pretty early lead in this game here, but again, each round is different, right? So after you reset, anything can happen. So it's 2-on-5 right now, but Rampage only has one ball on their side. Looks like they got two now. All right. There's some nice shots there. We've got number 25 and number 8 from BC looking like they're ready to go. Faking out there. Nobody's buying it, and he gets nailed on the side. So now it's just down to one player left on Blaze versus essentially all of Rampage. He wants to get that ball, but he's thinking better of it. It's a nice dodge there. Now you'll notice he has to watch the back line where those metal strips are, because the back line stepping out of the boundaries at any point will knock you out. Oh, and he doesn't pick it up yet. You can't tell if we're just getting into the game, getting warmed up. Oh, and knocked on the side there. And that was a decisive victory for Rampage. Anyway, they're resetting now, so I'm going to give you guys a bit of a rundown of what you're watching here. So in WDBF rules Dodgeball, WDBF stands for World Dodgeball Federation. I figure I should give you guys a definition of terms. So you've got 3 balls for each side, 6 balls in total. Each team only runs to the balls on their right. You're going to see in this opening rush here how it works. That's the only time you're allowed to step over a boundary. Otherwise, you have to stay on your half inside the boundaries at all time. And so that opening rush was a little sloppy there, but it's all right. They didn't look like they were going to be going off to any sort of an early lead there. All right, we got some good fakes from Snow. All right, and let's take a look here. And a hit right there already on Blaze. And the referee stopped play. Oh, ball was in. So when a ball comes in from another court, they stop play. So we've got 2 of our dedicated full-time referees on this game. We've got Ian Asang and Kendall Stelmack. And a nice hit there on number 11. Let's see what else we can see happen. So we got a little chat there. They're discussing what they're going to do. They go up. Oh, and the ball goes up in the air, but nobody makes the catch. Now, after a ball ricochets off of a player, as long as it's still in the air and hasn't hit a dead object, anybody can grab it and save the player and knock out the person who threw it. And a nice hit there on the guy who's jumping. Oh, and now I don't want to be preemptive here, but it looks like Rampage is really taking Blaze to town here. What are your thoughts on that, John?
They are going on a rampage.
That's a great way to describe it. Oh, and some nice dodges there, and that was some great sportsmanship from Slater there. Very difficult to see if he got hit or not. Anyway, somebody needs to tell our court manager to fold out the scoreboard.
That would help.
Yeah, the scoreboards fold out at the bottom, but you know what? Kudos on Ray for just standing it up himself.
A for effort.
Yeah, we've got a lovely team of volunteers here. There are a ton of people coming out from both the dodgeball community and from their friends and family. Also, huge thanks to our friends in Quebec who lent us some nets last minute, as the nets that Dodgeball Canada sent to us didn't arrive on time, thanks to CN Rail.
Looks like there's a false start there.
Yeah, so if you start
Team Rampage.
If you start before the whistle, you only get 1 warning per half. On the second warning, a player will have to sit out for the round. Okay, and they're off. And again, we got an opening shot from Blaze there that puts burden onto Rampage. Now you'll notice here that a lot of teams like to put their left-handers on the left side. That just helps people not get in each other's way while they're throwing. So you'll notice Jeff Snow there playing the left wing or left guard, depending on what area you're from. That's what we call the position. Oh! It fumbles the team catch there. That would have been a really good save. It's too bad. Nice fake there from Rampage. All right, passes the ball off to Snow. They got the balls to the wingers. So when you're on the defense, you'll notice that most teams want to get the balls to the outside so that they can put pressure from both sides and not allow for a real clean shot from the other team. Oh, and that was a beautiful pick there. Number 17 from Rampage. Oh, I can't tell if that was a catch or not.
That was like ground, but...
Hard to say, but the other player went off. We're seeing some great sportsmanship today, which is what you always expect from high-level dodgeball. Oh, wow. That was a beautiful counter. Leave yourself open when you go for the windmill shots like that.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of wind-up you have to put into it. Especially even after.
All right, the referee's having a little bit of chat about something. Looks like Ian and Kendall are discussing something.
It's probably about the catch that happened on the ground.
Yeah, that was really hard to tell.
Yeah.
Regardless, so I think the best outcome there was that the player who threw the ball just went, oh, and a fumble! Oh, and it flies into the other court. Not able to save that. All right, they get the ball back. Looks like we got the...
Looks like the ball was not activated.
Oh, interesting. Right, the ball has to travel over the activation line. That's something we haven't explained to our viewers today. So you're going to notice on the courts here, there's a green center line and there are blue activation lines 10 feet back. The ball itself has to travel over the activation line. You can't throw a ball until it's activated. If you do, it's not going to do anything. See, now we got 2 balls on Blaze side. Blaze actually now with the player advantage. And yet Rampage still takes a shot. See, that's the interesting thing about when you play with, no walls or nets, is that you can take those shots when you don't have burden, and it won't really affect your game too badly, because the next time somebody throws, as long as you get out of the way, you're going to get that ball back. All right. Mayhem going into the offense. Oh, wow. And
nice attempted catch.
Absolutely. Let's see what we can see happening here. This is a very intense game. Oh! No other way to describe that. Now, you may hear us refer to shaggers. That's a term for people who are off of the courts getting the balls for the teams. So you'll notice Blaze is on Team BC, right? So Blaze has, I believe, it looks like Ian Kopp from Timber. I believe that's from BC Timber. Anyway, teams generally have somebody off the court that's not a player, usually 2 or 3 folks, grabbing the balls for them, getting them back into play. This isn't as necessary when you're playing wall ball, but when you've got nets and you're not getting the balls back, you really need to get those balls back into play. Now Rampage, they've already got burden, and you can see them now taking an offensive position. Going back up there. Nice block. Oh, wow. Again, I didn't think that hit him, but good sportsmanship. Must have grazed them somehow. So Rampage only has 2 players, but if you notice, they've been picking them down. Nice block there again from number 10.
In a game like Dodgeball, 2 players can easily take on 4 depending on how they play.
Absolutely, especially if they've got balls, right?
Yep.
As long as you have the balls, it doesn't matter how many players are on your side. You can see one player knock out an entire team as long as the other team doesn't get any balls back.
Exactly.
Less likely to see it in this format, though.
Team BC is now down to 3 players.
Oh.
Rampage at 2. Oh, Rampage has 1 player now.
3-on-1. That is not a situation you want to be in, especially with only 1 ball. Oh, he goes. See that? Dropped the ball looking for a catch. There's somebody who's very confident in his catching abilities.
If he makes a catch, he'll bring it up to a 2-2 game.
That's right. That 1-player swing is incredible.
Rampage now has 5 balls.
Oh, and he takes his last shot. Really nice dodge there. Oh! Look at that, 3-1. They're bringing themselves back into the game now. With 20-minute games, you're not going to be getting a ton of points on the board. I think, are they stopping for halftime? Oh, sudden death as we've gone into the half. So what's going to happen now is they reset. They give 3 balls per side, and they're going to start again with no blocking. Catches will still count for a re-entry. However, don't block a ball. Get out of the way.
Usually with sudden death, you're going to see a lot more offensive plays rather than defensive plays also.
Absolutely. The only defense in sudden death is to get out of the way or to catch, and you're almost always better off going for the dodge.
And Blaze got one of the Rampage players right off the start.
But they have no balls now. They are completely defenseless. They can't even fake them out. Normally when you're in this situation, you want to have at least one person able to defend.
And
and
Blaze
the catch
is able
revives
to
the player.
stand off.
So you'll see a lot of faking in this game. We're not seeing a lot in this particular match, but essentially what you see is when somebody, like there, goes for a ball, you want to be able to fake so that they think twice about doing what they're doing. Either think twice about throwing or, get out of the way for the ball that they were trying to get. This is an intense, a nice underhand shot there. You just hear somebody yell, patience. Oh, wow, and then a hit there as well. Rampage had such a strong opening, but it looks like Blaze is bringing it back. If they get this point in the sudden death, then it's only going to be 3-2 going into the second half. Anything could happen at that point. Now, if we see a win from Rampage here, that's going to give them a 4-1 lead. It's going to be really hard for Blaze to come back for that. However, that's generally when most teams tend to turn it on.
Especially 20-minute games. It's rounds averaging 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Nice jump catch.
Jump catches are actually a really interesting thing to see because bring your legs up actually creates a nice little pocket and can squeeze the ball into your chest there. Now that's also what's known as the bread basket. So the bread basket is where it's really easy to catch something like right there where that guy made a catch, and that brings it down to 2-on-3.
That is correct.
Oh wow, coming up here. Oh, right into the ground. You can see he was going for the guy's feet.
Rampage now with 2 balls and Team Blaze with 4. Make that 5.
Oh, wow, that was a beautiful end to that half.
1 counter and then a catch. So now they are switching sides. So Team Blaze is going to go to the left.
Looks like Kendall's going to go show them how to fold out the scoreboard. Nope. She's just going to let him fry. Kendall Stelmack, one of our referees from Dodgeball Winnipeg. I should introduce myself. My name is Stacey Hewen. I am the owner of Dodgeball Winnipeg, and I'll be doing a lot of the commentary for this weekend. With me is John Ferreira.
Hi, guys. I play for Dodgeball Winnipeg. I am not an owner of anything, so.
John's a part of the media crew today. He's been a great volunteer and tons of help. This is a great opportunity for people to really see just how intense Dodgeball is. Dodgeball Canada has a great slogan, and it's, the game, now meet the sport. And you're really seeing this played at its highest level. There's really only one level higher than this, and that's the World Dodgeball Federation Championships. And so when you see the WDBF World Champs, you're going to see the best from every country, and that's what we're here today doing. We're going to be selecting Team Canada from the players at this event. And there we go, and they're off. And we got another opening rush. Notice that Rampage seems to be a little slower right now. They're taking their time. They could, at this point, basically just run the clock.
That would be a good strategy for them.
They could get 2 5-minute rounds in, and both of them losses, they'll still win this match. 5-minute round isn't as long as you think it is. I mean, obviously it's 5 minutes, but it feels like forever on the court. But up here watching, 5 minutes is not that long. Oh, and a bad block.
I also like to add that you guys may see the ref counting down, and that just means that the team that the ref is pointing at has 10 seconds to throw. If they fail to throw within those 10 seconds, they have to forfeit all the balls to the opposing team.
All right, so let's give a little rundown of how burden works. So essentially what happens is the team with the most balls is required to make the throw. Now, if the teams both have the same number of balls, you go by who has more players. If both teams have the same number of players, you go by whichever team won the last round. If it's the first round of the game, you go by whoever's listed first on the round-robin sheet. Now you see Snow come up there with a little bit of a fake. Seems to be taken really easy. Jeff Snow is one of the most well-known names in Canadian dodgeball. He's a very solid player, makes Team Canada quite often. He's got a great left-handed shot. He seems to be taking it easy now, pacing himself for this tournament. We got 3 days, about 30 hours of gameplay if you make it to playoffs. So it's really not smart to be playing at 100% right now.
Oh!
Wow! Right in the
Looked
forearm.
like he was going for a block, and it just stuck to him.
See, that's a good reason to work out your forearms.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's part of the dangers of being a ball shagger is sometimes you're just going to take a shot, get beamed right in the face. Now, the nice thing about playing with the balls that we use, these are foam balls with a rubber coating, also known as a WDBF standard ball. And these balls essentially are not that hard to take a shot from. They sting a little bit, but the most thing you're really going to get stung by is your ego.
Yeah, they're not no rubber balls that's going to
false start.
give you a good wake-up call.
A sign gives them the one warning. Now, every player has to start with their foot on the back line in this rule set. And there we go. Now they're off. All right. And a nice opening there from Rampage. Oh.
We got a double there.
What happened was 113 and 8 basically just ran into each other. Not great court awareness there, unfortunately, but that's what happens in the opening rushes. Things are a bit sloppy because you're getting there as fast as you can, right? That doesn't mean that they played bad. It just, that's the part of the mayhem that is Dodgeball. Trying to make sure I don't say mayhem too many times today because that's also a team that we have out this afternoon. Why am I saying this afternoon? It is very early in the morning. I guess I'm just not used to being awake at this hour. And got a dirty block from there. He's walking out. So I'm going to give you guys rundowns every time I use any sort of our vernacular here. A dirty block is when you block a ball but it still hits you. See a block? Oh, just muffin that one. Now, a dirty block, again, like I was describing there, is when a live ball hits your ball as you block it, but it still hits you. Now, a ball doesn't kill you till it's dead, right? So when a ball comes at you, you can block it with your ball and you're safe. But if it touches any part of your body and then subsequently dies, you are now also dead. And they're back off. Now it's a 6-1 lead for Rampage. At this point, they're just getting points to place themselves higher in the round robin. It's a great idea to place higher in the round robin because you get placed against a lower ranked team. So if you can farm some points early on, you can take it easier when you're playing those really hard matches later. And that was a real nice team throw there at number 11.
Looks like Blaze has 5 players and Rampage has 6.
Nice little left-hand shot there from Beaumont. You're going to pay a lot of attention here to the left-handers as you'll notice that they're almost relegated to the left side of the court because everybody who's playing with their right hand is going to just get in their way if they stand on the opposite side, right? And a nice little hit there. Now, you'll notice the players lining up against the back fence there on the side. Now, players are revived in the order in which they're knocked out. So, at high-level play, you'll notice everybody just lines up in order because there is really no excuse to be trying to figure out who's the next one in. And it is not in your best interest to send the wrong player in, or you're just not going to get anyone. Shagger looking for that ball, doesn't get it. Oh, wow, nice little hit on Snow there. All right, Blaze coming up. They got 4 balls here. You notice they're calling a target. Now, for those of you who might pick up Dodgeball after this, we're going to tell you about the targeting system that most players use. We count down from 1 to 6 from left to right. So if you call player number 2, you count the second player from the left. So in this case, if we were on Team Blaze and we call for player number 2, yep, you see, you throw at the guy on the right. Oh, look at that. Giving the ball to the Shagger. That was a really good play. You can see some really good dynamics between Rampage and their Shaggers here. Some teams have had to just request volunteers from the community locally, and they won't know them as well, and they're not going to have that same sort of synergy. Oh, and a nice hit from Lorenzo.
Just missed the face. Hit him in the ear, though. And that's still not a good feeling.
Yeah. Now, I want to send out a huge thanks to number 22, Slater. He helped us set up this gym today. Again, like I said, CN Rail really messed with us by not giving us the nets on the time that they guaranteed that they would be here. So Quebec was generous enough to send us their nets, and they sent us a bunch of players here who helped us set them up. And then a few players from Team BC showed up about an hour early, and they helped us lay down these lines. Laying down lines at the exact correct measurements is a really difficult process.
It's not fun.
No. Also, the court tape we're using has a lot of tensile strength, and it'll really wreck your lower back while you're trying to drag it out there for any length. So we end up doing it about 5 feet at a time, sticking it down. Somebody has to step on it. Oh, looks like the referee talking to a shagger there. I just got to say that the dodgeball community is really great about stuff. If somebody steps on a line, so to speak, like if they cross a line or a boundary and the referees talk to them, you're not going to see much in the way of tempers. There are a few, but
especially in a game like this,
yep,
where everybody's being judged on everything.
Yep. Sorry about that. Somebody was just trying to get my attention. And we got a nice block there. Couldn't tell if that was a dirty block or not, but in most cases you can just trust players at this level to go out if they were hit. The referees here are here to keep them honest, but let's be honest, it's going to be the selection committee keeping everybody honest.
That is correct.
Yep,
refs do not see everything, but they do their best they could do.
Yep.
Team Blaze with the catch. Team Blaze now has 6 players versus Rampage with 5. Blaze has now given all their balls to Rampage. Looks like number 11 tried to go for that catch, but did not succeed.
You know, some nice dodges there from the captain of Rampage. Oh, look at that!
He went for the ball, but
if you notice, he went for an underhand shot, thought better of it, and then overhanded the guy. Now, sometimes the best thing you can do is just, we're doing a highlight reel. We're going to need to catch that shot. That was an incredible behind-the-back team catch.
He didn't even know what happened.
It's all right. He'll find out eventually, and he'll be very proud of himself.
Basic instinct right there. Just felt the ball and just said, nope, not letting that touch the ground.
Now, in my dodgeball career, I have made 2 team catches in total, and I have been playing since 2012. I'm not great at having that kind of court awareness. My general response is get out of the way. Unfortunately, that's not always what needs to happen. And look at that, a dirty block calls himself out. Just because we're using the term dirty doesn't mean it's malicious. Just letting everybody know. And Blaze happy to get that point on the board. That being said, it's almost for sure a victory for Rampage at this moment in time.
That is correct.
Yep. Sorry that I was silent there a little bit earlier. I was just firing up my fun facts about the players so we can give you guys just a little more insight onto everybody here. It was a hectic setup earlier today, but we've got everything going. Tournament appears to be running smoothly. And look at that. Nice little underhand throw there as well.
Oh, time is now stopped.
Yep. Oh,
looks like it's down to sudden death now.
Time is run out. So we're back into sudden death like you saw at the end of the first half now. Blaze had a really good opportunity to get a point there, and if they had, we'd be looking at a 3-5 score, in which case, unfortunately, or sorry, 3-6, it would still be Rampage's game.
So when sudden death starts during game, the balls get divided between both teams, and they pretty much start from the back of the line with the balls, and it's down to no blocking, but catching still counts as re-entry.
Exactly. Catches are huge in dodgeball, especially in this rule set. It's advantageous to just get out of the way. So you don't see a lot of catching. That being said, sometimes a ball's coming at you even though you did dodge, and the best thing you can do is just get your hands up and get ready. Now, when you're playing wall ball, you're never going to get a ball back until you catch a ball. Oh. That was almost 3 players. That was 3 players.
That was a triple.
I want to say that guy... good sportsmanship. He thought about it, and he thought, you know what? Something touched me. I'm going out.
Sometimes you don't know. Just ask the ref. It's an honest thing to do.
Nothing wrong with calling yourself out in the game of dodgeball.
Blaze is now up with 4 players with Rampage at 2. Rampage has made a catch, bringing them back up to 2 players with Blaze at 3.
Yeah, you can see Snow turning it on. It's really good. Oh,
Now teams are
unfortunate block.
even with 2 versus 2.
Another thing I just want to say, a big shout out to BC. BC Timber is supplying 3 referees for this tournament. We've had a heck of a time getting people out. Unfortunately, some schedules didn't line up. Some time off of work didn't get approved. So some of our full-time referees weren't able to make it out. So we're going to see just how good Jeff Snow is. Oh, Ballshagger fumbles it to him. But he's all right. Oh, beautiful block from Hui there. Let's see if they can do it. They really should be coordinating here, but he takes that shot just to make
Looks
Snow
like
think
Snow
twice.
is trying to bait them to get a catch.
Oh, 1v1 in sudden death. The true test of a man's strength. If you want to see a person go up against someone else in pure combat. Oh! So close.
So it looks like the game finished with Rampage having 8 points against Blaze with 2.
I want to say that was a great show from Slater this entire game here. He did get nailed a few times when he was winding up for his underhand throw, and unfortunately, you leave yourself vulnerable